Okay, so we are both here. Hello,
Hello. How's everybody doing today? I'm Chloe,
and I'm Sandy.
and this is WordStitch. This is our second live write-in now. Big step for us. We've gotten through the first one. This is the second one. So what we're going to be doing today is doing a little bit of talking and a whole bunch of writing.
Yeah, and if you've never been to a virtual write-in before, basically the way that this works is we sort of give you a set amount of time to write and for us to write, and for say 10 minutes or 25 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever it is during that segment, our goal is just to write or edit or do whatever writing related activity you need to do that you need to be productive on. And we'll have some word prompts for you if you need them. And if you don't need them, no big deal. And you will just be writing along with us. So, virtual write-in.
Sandy, what you writing today?
I'm still on my YA contemporary fiction, which I'm excited about. I actually am reading this fantastic YA contemporary thing. It's called Scream All Night. I love it. It's really dark and evil. And it makes me feel like I'm in the right genre right now. I don't know, like maybe because of the Halloween thing or whatever, but like,
Oh, it's horror.
well, so contemporary YA is just, it just sort of always feels to me like it has to be first person and angsty and things are going wrong, right? But yes, the one I'm reading right now is horror contemporary, and it's amazing. What about
But you're
you?
saying it's the same tone because you're not writing horror.
I'm not writing horror, but I am still writing angsty first person teenage literature.
Do you
Yeah,
also struggle with saying the word horror because you worry that people are going to think you're saying the word horror, or is that just me?
I think that's just you. What are you writing today?
Things awkward.
Uh oh, you're frozen.
Longer, so I am going to be um, starting my prep work for my project in November.
Oh, nice. I actually went to a prep workshop like 2 days ago. I said I wasn't going to last week, right? Like I said, I was totally like a pantser. I'm not doing any planning, none of this planning stuff. And then I showed up at a
I don't
conference.
think, even if you're pantsing, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing plotting stuff in advance. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not saying that you should plot in advance, but like to do stuff like that, to do like the warm up stuff and kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's like being a cheerleader. Like, the cheerleader is not actually playing the sport, but it's still, they're still helping the sport happen. Does that
I
make sense? That was a weird metaphor. I like the humor.
Yeah. Well, and I wanted to go because I love that Nano has regions. And if you are joining us and you are not aware of NaNoWriMo, the National Novel Writing Month, that starts in November. And there are a lot of activities going on right now in the various Nano regions to help people prepare. So that's what I was at, was like an official Nano workshop. And I love those because you actually then get to meet other people who are going to like try this crazy task with you. And maybe that'll be fun, or maybe you'll have totally different styles, but whatever. So
So
um,
what did you guys do at the meeting? How many people were at the meeting? I'm excited to know how big other regions are.
it was like 20 people. This
Okay, I'm
region is
super
apparently
jealous of
huge. Yeah.
that.
I guess that, so I'm in Raleigh, Durham, and I guess that this is one of the largest regions in terms of like active writers. Um,
Nice.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
intense, and we did plot and character. But we are a minute away from our first sprint, so if you're with us, this is a good time to grab your Scrivener, your paper, or your Google Docs, whatever you're writing in. Um, and then, Chloe, do you want to give the prompt? They're my
Yeah.
prompts. If you don't like them, I can give them.
No, I am gonna give this one because you made it include something smelly in your scene. And I will never use the word smelly in my life, except for this moment, because it's a gross word. But I also write adult stuff, not YA or MG. So I feel like smelly really doesn't
Doesn't belong in a romance
apply
scene.
to adult stuff. But it is 4:05, so I say let's go ahead and kick this off.
Okay, let's get started. You have 10 minutes to write.
And you are going to start right now.
Okay, we're back.
We are back. How did you do?
Okay, let's check this out. I 293, so not like an enormous word count, but decent for a warm up.
Yeah, I feel like anything that gets done in the first sprint is a job well done.
Yeah, I didn't include anything smelly in my, like nothing. There's nothing smelly in the scene at all. And I could have, because there's like I mean, there's a teenage guy, so um,
So technically, again, I loathe the word, and it's partially for this. It technically isn't everything, like because you had a teenage guy in there, you had something smelly.
I totally did. I mean,
And
you can't get away with that.
for me, I was literally just transferring these old. This is what I do. What I used to do at work. I would just grab like our order forms
Huh.
and write my notes on this when I thought of it, and then jam them in a notebook. Um, I am copying those notes over now, but in it, one of the notes was about forges that I have in my world, like iron forges.
Oh.
And I feel like they are quite pungent. Um, yeah, like not necessarily in a bad way, but with the word smelly, I mean, there's like a bad connotation, but it's not necessarily bad.
Well,
So
it's not, and the reason I picked those prompts is because, and this is a sort of a theme for our prompts today, is sensory details are something that I forget really easily. Like I can do dialogue, I can do feelings, I can do action, but like this part where you describe the sensory details, I really ignore a lot. And I don't think you need a ton of it, but I think you need a little bit of it. So I'm trying to inspire myself to be more sensory in my writing.
I always have issues with smells, particularly because it's so hard to describe a smell. And so a lot of times, like I know exactly what the smell is, but how many times can you say that something smells like burnt hair? You know, and it's hard to find the right word for things like that, or like I've tried. You know, it's the internet is a great place for finding words to describe things, but I have tried to find like a way to describe the smell of an electrical fire and the funny thing with that is that like everything that I saw about, you know, that was all like how you find out if an electrical fire is happening. They all use the phrase distinctive smell.
Hmm. Like, what is the distinctive smell?
Yeah. And if I'm writing something that, you know, for example, if I'm in a world where there is no electricity, I certainly can't say that something has an electrical smell to it. So,
Well, I think there would be electricity no matter what. Like you might not have
like,
electrical wires, but there'd be static electricity, for example.
um, that doesn't really have a smell though.
I mean, I don't know if you can set static electricity on fire, but yeah, no, I I don't know. I don't know. But I
Oh,
agree
that's
with you.
a good
It's
point. But I feel like the electrical fire smell, I feel like it's probably a combination of like metal and plastic. Um, like the smell isn't the fact that like in an electrical fire, the smell isn't the fact that it's um electricity that's causing it, but what is actually burning an electrical fire.
That's a good point. So like that smell should be like kind of bitter, right? Like you should get a different warmth than if you were burning wood.
Yes. Yeah, there's I don't know, it's a weird smell.
It
I
is.
don't yeah, I know exactly what it is, but I can't use it if I can't describe it
You need to
in
make up a word.
the words of my people, which so we're completely like missing what we said we were going to talk about during this break, but I like this conversation because it brings me to something else. Um, how do you so you write fantasy too sometimes? How
Hmm.
much effort do you put it like how concerned are you with making sure that your descriptions are viable to the people within that setting? Do you know what I'm asking? Like so like right here with me because there's no electricity. Um is it okay to say that it still has an electrical smell, even though the people experiencing it wouldn't know it was that?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, this is our tech break if you're tuning in, but I think this is a good writing conversation too. So, um, I think it's important. I think because you're writing from a character's voice, right? And that means that like, unless you're have the like that totally like omniscient perspective, somebody's voice is the person who you are writing from, and that means that they shouldn't be describing something that they don't know. I've had trouble with things like cell phones, because of course in fantasy you kind of want to get rid of cell phones. My worlds tend to be a little steampunk, so sometimes I get around this by like making up a reason that something isn't otherwise there, but that they would know of it anyway. Like there are cars on the planet, just not a lot of them, or like most people have horses, a few have trucks, this kind of thing. But yeah, no, I think you have to. I do think that you have to be consistent to the world and what they would actually know.
Yeah. And even like you mentioned omniscient, and I feel like even if it's like the third person omniscient, I feel like they're still confined to
Mm-hmm.
that world. And even I don't know. That's like I always wonder if I'm getting way too picky. When even if I'm writing from different, like obviously there's a voice and making sure that the words, like if you're writing especially in first person, like what I'm doing right now with the sequel to Ugly Sister, I've got what's happening there is I had to split it. It's in first person. I had to split it between two people because they're
Mm-hmm.
in two locations. Uh, I kind of hate this device, but I was put into a situation where I had to write two characters in first person. So obviously, with that, there's words and getting that voice that they have correct, but then there's also dealing with this exact thing where that one character is an expert on one thing and one character is an expert on another thing, and I get really really anal about making sure that like what they're thinking about or like what's coming from their perspective is 100% what their knowledge base would be, to the point where I think I go too far.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, because you do want to, yeah, and your characters tend to be experts in things, right? So like you're specifically trying to give one character what he's like a doctor or something, right? So you can't
Yeah.
give the other character that knowledge.
And she's a singer. She's a
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that like so Sandy's already read the first one, but not the one that I'm working on right now, and so it hasn't really come out. But the one character is a classically trained opera singer, um, and I've been able to use that in the second book. So there's a lot of music terms in it as well.
Right, right. Um, oh, that's really interesting. That's one of the reasons that the contemporary stuff is so easy because like everybody knows everything, and we are a minute away from our next sprint. So, um, we should
Yeah.
do the word prompt, which is
Oh, this is your term.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is just include something colorful in your scene. Again, with the sensory thing, like we're thinking about visual cues here. So include something colorful. That's so easy and basic, isn't it? Anything can be colorful.
Yeah.
Nice and simple.
You just gotta make sure they actually mention the color, though. I feel like this is a time. Like we were cheating with smelly, but I think now is the time to fully commit to actually using that term. No cheating this time. You've got 25 minutes to use a color word in there. I have faith in you, and it is time for the war. So there we go, and you can go ahead and start now.
Good luck. All right, we're back.
How did you?
Let's see.
I always ask you first because I haven't been actually writing yet, so you have an actual number.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm behind this week. I was supposed to write like a lot more last week, and I did not. And my calculator isn't working.
What's your goal for this week?
You know, I always set my goal at just like the 1667 for the day, and I think it's a good habit to be in, because if I'm in a month where I'm trying to draft something, and I have like another 30,000 words to write, so I guess I should have time. I wrote 615 words, by the way, but so what, I have like 15 days until Nano.
Yeah, so you're a little behind because you're looking at about 10K a week, but
Yeah, I need like 2,000 words a day.
Only a little bit. You do have to work for it, though.
Yeah.
Not that you won't work for it, but yeah. What are you planning for? Are you plotting or are you pantsing for Nano this year?
So I'm planning to pants, but I suppose it is kind of in a loose sense because I already have characters in mind. Like, this is a story I've been trying to write for years and years and years, and they've just it's never worked for me before. So I think I know approximately where I want them to end up. I know who the characters are. I know like one backstory, and then I have like magical objects that have been building up in my mind for years. But for the plot itself, I want to pants that entirely, because I just want it to be character driven, right? Like, I want the characters to tell me what they're going to do with the cool magical world that I've created for them.
So then you might be a good person to start on our little chat for this break, because it's since Nano is about getting words down on the page. This question is about first drafts. What do you struggle with when creating a first draft? What helps you overcome that challenge?
Yeah, and this has been a big challenge for me, especially with something like this, where like it's a story that I've wanted to write for so long. And I think for me the challenge is that I when I care significantly about the story, especially, I start writing and I want to immediately make it beautiful. Like, I want that chapter to be great, and then I want like the next chapter to be great, and then I want like that scene to be beautiful, and it just doesn't work like that with first drafts. You can't make your stuff beautiful. You got to get words down on the page and then make them beautiful. And I'm probably a wasteful writer. I throw out like a third of what I write in my drafts, maybe more. But that's the only way I know how to get it done now is just to sort of say, like, I've got to turn off that this has to be good desire.
I think that is kind of a writing style thing, though. I'm not nearly. I have been that wasteful in the past. I'm not nearly that wasteful anymore, but my writing style has changed. And also, when I was that wasteful, I was writing more lit fic, which I think is just going to be a wasteful genre anyways, because you're so picky about the words that like every single word you write is wrong the first time. So yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So your biggest problem is your inner editor is what you're getting at.
Yeah, absolutely. My inner editor like just demolishes my ability to write anything.
So this is always the like $50 billion question then. I see it constantly. What do you do to shut off your inner editor?
Well, one thing is I don't overplan, because if I overplan, then I've like set myself up for failure. And I think the habit of writing every day is really important for me during Nano. So I sort of have to say to myself, I have to get that 1,667 words down no matter what they are. Like, that is the top priority. And it doesn't matter if they're good words. It matters that they are words. And then the other thing for me is I can't write linearly, because when I'm writing like the story front to back, I have in mind this particular order, right? So like I'm going, okay, I've got to get my characters to the next beat. I've got to get them to the next like dialogue. I've got to put some tension in here or something. And that doesn't work for me because it feeds my inner editor, right? Like it says like, this is what this should be, as opposed to like, this is what the characters want to do next. So instead of linear writing, I just do scenes, like whatever they want to do next. If like the characters are in a, I don't know, a bird market, this happens in an earlier version of this book I'm looking to write. Or if they're in...
Weird to go with, but that's okay.
Yeah. I've written that scene before, but okay, so like if they're there, like I just want to write the scene. If it's a, I don't know, we just lost the...
Is this like literally like you buy a pet parrot at this place?
Yeah, no, I literally have them in a think like street fair, but with birds.
Is it an illegal bird market? Because I always feel like whenever you've got a whole bunch of birds together, they've been gathered illegally.
It's in China.
Okay, so probably
totally legal. Yeah.
But not by American standards. Whatever it is, it'll probably not be legal in America.
Yeah, but I'm sure there are like goldfish there too. And
yeah.
Okay, so what about you? Since I'm taking up all the time here, what do you struggle with when creating a first draft?
I think that was valid. You know what's funny is that I've been doing this so long that I really don't struggle anymore. My struggles are much more banal than yours. Because usually my struggle is literally just like keeping facts straight and remembering the names of secondary characters. That was why I posted that thing about naming secondary characters, having a list to pick from in advance helps me keep track of them. Because like if I'm in the middle of a word sprint and I need to add a nurse, this is the last time I came across this. If I need to add a nurse and I'm in the middle of a word sprint and I don't have a list there, I just pull a random name out of the sky and I immediately forget that name. So then and then that nurse is a character, and once you have a character established, you keep using that character. Why make 8 million characters when you can have that nurse in every single scene that you need a nurse? So I have this nurse in what I'm editing right now, whose name changes like 4 times. Because I was never able to get back and look at it. So normally it's like stuff like that. It's continuity, but it's not plot continuity. It's description continuity, if that makes sense.
So does
the story itself is continuous, but like your colors change and stuff like that.
So does research throw you off then too? Like is it like you can
I get sucked into wiki holes for hours on end? Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that literally the only solution for that for me is the word sprints, is having some actual, whether it's a word sprint or again those productivity apps like Write or Die, which I don't know if you saw, they've come out with a new Write or Die. The website is terrifying now. If you use Write or Die, and you go to the website and it looks terrifying, there's a button at the top of the screen that takes you to last year's website, which is far less terrifying. But yeah, we are a minute out from our 1K 30 minute. So a really quick primer on this, if you've never done one of these before, is your goal in this is going to be to write 1,000 words in 30 minutes. It is absolutely possible if you shut off that inner editor and if you don't go into the wiki hole. Stop clicking those links. If you need research, just kind of highlight or something. I cannot stress enough how great it is to like highlight stuff that you don't know and go back to it later. And that is exactly how you get through a 1K 30. And let me go ahead. Go ahead and start this up.
Oh, and your prompt is include something loud in your scene.
Thanks. I totally forgot prompt.
No problem. All right. And so we're ready, right?
Yes. There we go. And start.
Okay, we are unmuted, and presumably my video is coming back. There we go. Okay, so let's see how we did. I actually made that.
Did you really? Congratulations.
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
I beat it by like 22 words.
I mean, you hit 4 digits and you win. It doesn't matter. This isn't horseshoes.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. And that actually puts me over my 1667 for the day. Although I suppose I need to change that target to 2000 for right now, don't I?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're trying to get that finished in time, then you should up that, and that'll get you there a little bit faster.
Yes, it will. And how is the editing coming?
Oh, I'm just transferring notes right now. There's no editing.
So we should do some nano prep stuff next time because you actually do prep. So we should talk about what to do to prep. But this is our arts and crafts break, right? So maybe we should talk.
I have nothing to share this week. Do you?
Oh, I totally do. I have it right here. So this is my art that I made, my craft. There's a tutorial of how to do it online, and it is a rice pack. So it's like the easiest thing that you can possibly make, I think. Like, this is a piece of fabric folded and sewn at the edges, stuffed with rice. So simple. And this is saving like my back this week because I am dying over like neck pain. And you can stick these in freezers.
Yeah, right? You microwave it or something like that?
Yeah, you microwave it for like 1 to 3 minutes, and then it's a heat pad, or you freeze it, and then it's a freezer pad. Oh, and I have a friend with me right now. I've got my doggy. Yeah.
My friends are locked out right now.
Oh, they're locked out. This is my dog. Say hi. Hi, Hannah. I'm going to set her down. She's been barking like crazy. But I have not otherwise done anything creative this week. It's all been like pain management.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So I did a whole bunch of creative stuff this week, but that's my job. I made many pretty cakes, but I have none of them to show you right now.
You should bring pictures of your pretty cakes.
I can't. I don't.
Oh, you probably can't, can you?
I probably have the ability to do this if I was just a little bit more tech savvy. But unfortunately, I'm a Xennial, not a millennial, so I'm not entirely sure. Oh, you know what? I might be able to do this. I can show you. Okay, so, I am smarter than this. So if I do a little share screen, so this is it. This is what I do for a living. I'm a cake decorator. So that was actually, I think it was actually for a wedding. I always feel like one-tier wedding cakes are weird, but I guess that's just because I'm a cake decorator.
That's gorgeous.
So there's like a part that hurts my soul. It's actually a wedding cake. But that was one. And then the other one, so here's what happens once you hit the second half of October. People get like even more mean to each other about cakes because we're coming up on Halloween. So we constantly get the like, oh, ha, 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 you're over the hill, you're about to die cakes.
Oh.
You get a lot more this time of year. So this was my other cake yesterday.
That's horrible.
It's so mean, and I don't know if Mr. Galleon is really old or if it's just a Halloween themed cake. But this will be the next 2 weeks of my life. Assuming that I continue working where I'm working this week. If not, I'll do Halloween cakes at home. So yeah, I guess that's my little bit of show and tell. But again, it's it's work. I'm sorry. Now I'm being dumb about flipping back. There we go.
It's okay.
That was work though, so I didn't really do anything at home.
It was
Sorry.
creative work. I got creative with my cooking today. I made stuffed cabbage and then like ran out of stuffing.
Okay.
And had to create like a vegetarian version with black beans and rice and stuff I could find in the house.
So I do that with stuffed peppers. I do rice. Like I will cheat and use like the black beans and rice or the red beans and rice mix. Just because it's already seasoned and everything.
Nice.
Or like I'll throw quinoa or something like that. And I really like stuffed peppers, but I don't like meat. So.
Oh, I should have put cheese in there. That would have been good.
Oh yeah, I dump a ton of cheese into everything. And like I'll throw salsa or like the diced tomatoes that already have the seasoning in them, because I cheat a lot. I don't know how do you stuff cabbage? Like I've heard of stuffed cabbage before, but I've never actually seen it.
So you have to like boil the cabbage or like simmer it.
Cabbage.
And then you like pluck one leaf off at a time and basically like, I don't know, it's sort of like rolling like a taco or a tortilla.
Well, it's like dolmas or dolmadas.
Yes, and then they're cooked.
Yeah. Okay, that I do because I'm super bougie with my food. So I won't stuff a cabbage leaf, but I will stuff a grape leaf.
Where do you buy grape leaves? I've always wanted to do that.
I think last time you might be able to get them at Publix. You can definitely get them at fresh markets.
Nice. I should look for that.
I feel like I've also gotten them at like a Middle Eastern grocer, which I guess you being in Raleigh makes that a problem now.
I hope I can find a Middle Eastern market, because although they're dangerous for me, because God, do I love baklava like so much.
I do.
And I've tried to make it before. Mine never comes out like authentic baklava, but I hate
myself as I am eating it. Like it is instant. The moment it hits my mouth, I'm like, this is amazing. And I have so many regrets. It's
like the nectar of the gods, right? Like you've got everything in there that you need,
like,
and it's
like I feel like I may as well just like go right up to like a maple tree and
start like licking it.
It's like start sucking on that tap, and that's baklava. Like somehow like jam almonds or whatever the nuts are in like a little mouth pocket. Yeah, that is exactly it.
Well, it's okay. So we skipped a question earlier in our tech break segment. Should we go back to that?
But also, we have comments happening.
We have comments
right now.
Hey, that's exciting.
But they were popping up really quick, so I missed them, and I got complacent. Are you ask?
Hey, okay, let's say hello. So to Kate Sparks Creativity, thank you for joining us. We'd love to have you here this week, next week. You can, rewatch if you want. And we think the creativity forever. But I think the creativity thing is fun, right? Because otherwise you're just because we aren't published, and therefore we don't necessarily feel that we have the expertise to say this is how you should write everything, but we can quilt. Quilting we can do. Yeah.
I can make a pretty cake. I cannot bake that pretty cake, but I can make a gorgeous cake.
Wait, you can't bake the cakes? You could only decorate them?
So at home I just use box mixes because really who cares? What? I'm sorry. I have destroyed your world. So here's what happens when I'm home. Either I bake a really delicious cake that gets undecorated, that is not decorated, that probably doesn't get ice because I'm that kind of person. I normally don't like a whole lot of icing on my cakes, so normally they'll be like torted. Industry term, tort. If you ever hear the word tort, it's when cakes have layers in between. So like an untorted cake is literally just a piece of cake with icing on it. Whereas like a torted cake is one where when you cut it open, there are layers of filling. in
Oh.
between. And that's what tort means. So it's one of those words that like gets thrown around constantly, and it really just means cake, and it's just us being fancy. But so normally, like if I'm making like I make the best strawberry cake imaginable because I use actual strawberries. Many strawberries are harmed in the making of my cakes. So that I'll put a couple layers of like fluff in between, and I'll probably put some simple syrup on top. But like the stuff that I use is not taste is like the stuff that I use to decorate is not particularly tasty, and the tasty stuff does not work well when you're decorating.
Sorry. That's my killer dog.
So the buttercream that I use at work is very good, but it doesn't. Usually, what you make at home either decorates really well or tastes really good. So there you go. That's my cheat. And once like I'm using crappy icing anyways, why do I care about what the cake looks like, or why do I care what the cake tastes like? So like all of those showpieces that I make at home, all of those like super crazy like the pork cake, those are all like gutter box mix cakes. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, I've ruined
Did you hear my dog crying over that? Like,
yeah, your dog freaked out.
She
And
totally freaked out.
She wants a bad tasting cake.
No, she went bonkers. Yeah, because box cake. Well, okay, no, I do box cake, but if I'm doing like cupcakes, I like fix it. Like I'll add stuff to make it better. Whoa, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's all box mix. I didn't care about the flavor at all in that. Because again, like the thing, especially when you're doing an adult party, half the time people don't want the dang cake anyways.
It's true. Cake is a
Yeah.
lost art.
Yeah.
You know what? I think this week I'm going to be inspired to make like some Halloween cookies or something. I feel like that can be my creativity for the week. I love icing stuff.
I support that. My plan is to carve a pumpkin this week.
Oh, that's a great one.
Because I'm super pro at carving pumpkins.
My pumpkins turn out the same. They have turned out the same since I was like 6. I don't
use a pumpkin carving kit.
Even with the pumpkin carving. I'm not. I like there'll be like triangles for eyes. I'll have like one like little jagged tooth carving kit then. But
Yeah.
I might wait for that until next week. So maybe I'll bring my pumpkin to. Well, maybe not. We'll see.
I think that would be a great thing for us to do for the next one is compare pumpkins. I'm going to tell you right now, my pumpkins would be better than yours, but that's okay.
Yours is probably for sure going to be better than mine. Did I just switch us over on the screens? I was trying to look at my calendar. I think we could do our pumpkins on the 29th, right? Because like that's so close to Halloween.
That works too.
Let's have a special Halloween write-in.
We
A minute
are
away.
about to hit our last one, but I'm going to have you introduce it while I do my really funky trying to share. I'm going to share you what my last pumpkin was.
Okay, so as Chloe is sharing what her last pumpkin is, we are continuing with these sensory prompts. Oh, nice. And the prompt for our next segment is include something soft in your scene. So include something soft. And again, those prompts are scrolling across the screen, so you'll be able to see them. Well, we are definitely, you're right, my pumpkin will never be as good as yours, but I can write some words that I can handle. So everybody, good luck with this last sprint. We have 10 minutes left to write.
Oh, is it 10? Oh, whoops.
Yep, it is time.
Okay. Oh, no. I just set it for 15 because I'm never fully reliable. What are you doing? There we go.
10 minutes. All right.
There we go. And start. Sorry.
All right. Okay, we are back. Or you're back. And
I
I'm
am.
presumably going to be back shortly.
Thanks.
There we go. And man, my dog is like ornery right now. She is like dying to get out of the office. So it's a good thing that we are at the end of our sprints. And I ended up with...
I let Abbott Dabbit in, and then when I tried to pet him, he tried to bite me. So,
Oh.
we're back to that relationship again.
Well, cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dog always loves me, but sometimes she has her own agenda.
Yeah.
So I got 361 words, and that puts me at 2,291 words.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad for that, like 75 minutes. But of course, we don't get quite 75 minutes, so I'm feeling really good about this.
Yeah.
But I think it's going well. And if you are joining us either right now or later on, hopefully you got tons and tons of words written. Or if you're editing like Chloe is, or prepping, or you're prepping today, aren't you?
I'm prepping now. Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully it was productive for you. Maybe next time we should do some like specific prep things. Do you think?
I absolutely think we should. Sorry, the cat is going nuts back there. I'm gonna grab him. But yes, I totally. Oh, there's yarn. He's found yarn.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's my chunkamunka right there.
Oh, but there's nothing like a kitty with yarn. Aww.
Go ballistic on me. Yeah. So, anyways, yes, I think the next 2 weeks we should absolutely devote specifically to prep.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can even make our arts and crafts.
Oh, yes.
Specifically prep oriented.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh,
okay.
Except no, because one of them is going to be pumpkin oriented.
Okay, one pumpkin oriented, but otherwise we should do prep oriented. So, so definitely come back, join us, subscribe, bring your friends. I feel so weird about saying that, like subscribe. I don't know, we're not serious self-promoters.
Now though, because we've got our 3 videos. If
Yeah.
we get 100 subscribers, then our URL isn't going to be like a great big nasty jumble of grossness.
Oh my God, then we have a goal.
Yes. Please follow us.
Yeah, follow us. Help us have a better URL. And so next week, Nano Prep. But if you don't want to do Nano Prep next time, we'll stick to the same time structure. And that means that you can come back and you can just write if you want, or you can follow like the prep stuff that we're doing. And I might even participate in the prep. It depends on how far. What?
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Just a little. Yeah. It'll be good.
Arts and crafts. Design clothing for somebody. I mean, don't actually make the clothing, but like draw it.
But you could actually make the clothing if you wanted to. Wow, that is my dog trying to leap off her chair.
Okay.
Yeah, no, dogs don't land safely. So we should probably adjourn.
So maybe we're about done.
Yeah, so next time is October 22nd.
Oh, we said that we were going to set goals for ourselves for the following week now, right?
Yes.
That we committed to?
Yes, we did.
So your goal is to write, 15,000 for next week?
Well, I have 7 days, right? And I need 2,000 words for it. So, 6 days, not counting today, right? So I want to have 1,200. 12,000 words. 12,000 more words. What?
Because that's a full... You should count today, because that's a full week.
Well, in that case, I need 14,000 words more, including today's words by next week. And what about you? What's your goal?
My goal is going to be to have like everything fully outlined in Scrivener. So that I can like start getting to the nitty gritty stuff. Oh my God, did you actually meow at me? He doesn't meow. It's weird. I mean, obviously he does, but it's very rare. They're rioting, I swear. But yeah, so my goal is going to actually be getting all of this outline in, or potentially finding another program for it because I have been struggling with Scrivener. So, but either way, it's to have the outline fully written out.
Okay, good goals. And maybe this week we'll do some tutorials on things like Scrivener or other things that you can use to help prep. So at 6 o'clock. That's it. That's the end of the show.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.